Hello. So I'm going to try and keep this review to about, whoops, I said that word. As I've said before, I try not to call these reviews because I know mine are probably nothing compared to some of those guys out there. And gals. I haven't seen any reviews from gals, or women, I should say, ladies. But that would be kind of cool if there are some ladies out there that do reviews. But anyway, I'm going to try and keep this thought video down to about 10 minutes because that's what I'm seeing most videos have to be in order to be on YouTube. I'm going to show a little bit of a picture of my dog Duke. This is Duke, and I'm only showing Duke right now because he might start barking. So if you start hearing some barking, this little guy, he's the one that's doing it. He's being the little protector. But anyway, enough about Duke. And no, I did not name him Duke because of G.I. Joe's. He looks like a Duke. So anyway, this video is on the Night Attack Chopper. I ended up with 2 Night Attack Choppers. Either it was a buy one to keep and one to open, or if that was the case, little Duke there probably got a hold of the package and ripped it open, and since it was already open, I might as well put it together. Somehow I ended up with one of these with it having the batteries in it, and one does not have the batteries in it. The reason why it has to have batteries is because when this came out, one of the gimmicks was Night Attack. No, that's the name of the vehicle, Night Attack Chopper, was Sound Attack. And since we're going to be talking about Sound Attack, I think this should be the first thing we show you. Right here on this vehicle, there is a button that you are going to push that causes the helicopter to make sound. Let's see if I can get in there and show you that. So it is this right here. And when you push that button, and then on other vehicles that have Sound Attack, you get some sounds and some lights and all that. So here's the first sound. And I'm believing that is supposed to be the sound of both this machine gun or rail gun and this rail machine Gatling gun thing. Which is kind of cool, you know, maybe Roadblock or Heavy Duty, which seems to be the one right now, would be able to hold this thing. But you can see it's pretty big. You compare that to a figure, and the gun's almost, if not exactly, the same size as the figure. But let's go ahead and see what that would look like if he put it in his hand. So excuse me for a second here while I do this. You know, some people are lucky enough to have nice fancy cameras and to have webcams, but I don't have a webcam, so pardon me for having to take you guys off video to try and do this. And I'm glad I did that. That is sarcasm, in case you cannot tell. The reason why is because in order for him to hold it, he has to be able to hold on to this one and the one underneath. And if anyone's had luck doing that, I applaud you. But I'm not having much luck doing that. So, but anyway, with that one out, there's these little ports, for lack of a word, that you plug them into. Some of them that are on the Night Attack Chopper, kind of like this one right here, get you a better look, does not have the electronics in it. So they're just placeholders for other weapons to go in. But the ones that do have electronics in it, like this one here, it controls each time you put one of these weapons in it that has the little tab right there. And they each have little pegs or gouges or whatever that control what sound it makes. So anyway, without that in there, this is the sound that it makes. And of course, there's a little light that comes on in the front right there. So those are the two sounds that it makes. Another sound that it can make with this this big, I'm guessing, grenade type launcher, which again has a handle on it. I guess somebody would be able to hold that, but again, I'm not going to try it with this figure. But anyway, it's got a little handle. So when you put that one in the peg, you'll hear yet a third sound. And that's why I say it's a grenade launcher, because it sounds like it's going whoosh, whoosh, sending one out at a time. So there's that. Kind of cool thing about doing these thought videos is trying to look at what figures I have in them, because it's like sometimes I just put a figure in when you just need somewhere to put it, because even with a G.I. Joe room, you do end up running out of space. So I don't know that we'll really call this a video for each of these figures, but this guy right here is one of the beach heads that came out during this era, I believe. And probably can't tell it from the video, but this guy kind of gives off kind of a young appearance, and the proportions kind of make him a little stubby. So maybe it's just me, but it seems like he comes across as being a little kid. But anyway, so that's beach head. Put him back in there. It's kind of cool. The seat here folds forward so you can get back to the other guys. And back there I have Duke. And I actually like this Duke. I think they did pretty good with him. And again, I'm sorry about how blurry the video is, but mostly just do it to give my opinions, and so many other people do these videos, and I just felt like, hey, that's the next step, is to do some videos. So there's Duke, and then we also have one of the General Hawks that came out during that time, holding a camera and trying to get figures out. That's fun. Alright, so let's look at General Hawk. So there's General Hawk. He's got a little skirt, as I've heard some people call it. It's supposed to be an extension of his jacket, and it does kind of hinder his movement, but it's one thing I've always thought was really cool about G.I. Joe is how, back in the day, more people would say that there were big changes, but mostly being a collector right now and, having all these times that have changed, this is one of the things that Hasbro has started doing, probably not just for G.I. Joe, but to add more detail and more, I guess, articulation sometimes, but this time it's a little hampered. But anyway, so there's General Hawk. So it's kind of interesting to see why these figures were in there, but anyway, we're trying to keep this under 10 minutes, which it looks like that's not going to happen, so I will have to do this video once again.